face. Hey! Munansonyi wa chenondola nawo kiraba. Ono mulungi asinga abalungi. Zono gwenjagala bwe kibaluma kibalume. Zono gwenjagala bwe kiruma mwetukire ku munyanya. Ate oba ne weesiba.
Charles, darling, come on. Don't be so shaken. Who are those people? My, the old man was so furious. Is he your father?
Yes.
Strange. But I always thought your father was a clergyman like my father. He looked so fierce, now I'm so frightened. What was it all about? It was very confusing. Charles, when we get married, you must teach me your language.
They don't want me to marry you.
Not marry me? Why? Don't they like me?
You see, they have a bride for me.
But why? How?
Don't ask me. Custom. They say demands it.
But how can they? You have not even seen her. Or have you? Do you know who she is?
She's the chief's daughter. I don't know her, but I hear she has not even been to school.
Well, what are you going to do? Indulge in the old man's fancy?
I admit, I don't know.
Don't know? Do you want to tell me that you have not actually made up your mind?
The man you saw there is my father. He brought me up in a strict obedience to him and his ways. He's rather hard, as you can see, but he's a father. And I suppose he wants a father's due obedience from a son.
You did not tell me all this before.
And also, he has reared and looked after me ever since I was a child. He sacrificed his youth and energy to educate me. That's why you have a domestic duty to our parent. For being born and brought up, I must be dutiful. For being educated, I must show gratitude. And so, all in all, gratitude and duty would force me to go out their wishes. But in doing that...
You don't love me. Else, how can you say that?
You know how much I love you.
But your duty and gratitude to an absolute backward-looking clique is more important than a wider idea, a wider experience. Be true to yourself.
What self? What truth?
The truth that finds greater nourishment in the wider cooperative communities of men, not held back by the strictures of tribe and religion. A community that looks forward to when the peasants of our land shall be set free, and then the African Prometheus shall be unbound. And to think, you taught me all this.
Don't be so blunt.
I'm only trying to assure you, you'd sacrifice your heart, your desires, and the deepest of all man's experiences. For what? For what? If you sacrifice yourself, shouldn't it be for something big? Bigger than yourself? Bigger than the narrow confines of such a group?
These are my people. I am their everything. And is it not honorable to sacrifice self in the service of one's people?
Who are my people? Who are my people? I remember that night, sitting on that hill. It was hot, although very late in the afternoon. And down the valleys, among the thick banana growths, the woman was bent, double digging out cassava tubes. The sun beat on her, and you whispered, "My people." It seemed to me that I had never really understood you until then. You lit a fire in my heart. I warmed towards you, and I felt close to you. And then, Africa is in my grasp. Don't you remember? And now, you're giving to sacrifice yourself, your convictions for blind custom and tradition. Darling, are you going to fall a victim to this? Have you no will and strength to resist this? You say there hope. But how can you hope to save them before you save yourself first? Free yourself and myself from the burdens of our separate pasts.
I don't know. Mary, I don't know. That I love you, it is true. I know no other. I owe you fidelity. But I also love my people. That's my curse, torn between two worlds. I wish I were not my soul. Then I would not have to choose between a father's curse, a tribal's anger, and the anguish of a betrayed heart. Mary, I love you.
Don't clothe your weakness and irresolute heart with a noble anguish. Turn it into words. How simple, noble, and beautiful. Just because of a tyrant of a father and his clique of sycophant followers does not want his authority to be challenged, and so hidden under the cloak of tribe and custom. You would betray your heart. Who taught me, under that sun that caked our skins, that there is no tribe? We are one black people. Do you hear? I see you cower before my words. But listen, coward. Because I love you, I'll show you what to do. If you can't stand by your convictions, take that. Go off an aging tyrant and his clique of beer sneakers. Put yourself under their power and they'll lead you to darkness and destruction. Charles, I'll never be your wife. Goodbye.
Mary!
Sekwenjagala simuwa sipesi Sono kwenjagala sifanze wali Ebyo byogamba nti abasajja bangi Sono wange yasinga obulungi Sekwenjagala simuwa sipesi Sono kwenjagala